We'd like to start the RE User Summit 2021. We'd like to thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedules. We're pleased to see such a large number of participation. My name is Masaya Ichida from REI. First, let me explain about the simultaneous interpreting between Japanese and English. Including the first two speeches which we delivered in English. If you want to listen to the Japanese, please select Japanese. And then if you want to mute the original sound, you click that, and even with simultaneous interpreting, you can listen to only the Japanese. So please adjust to appropriately. We'd like to invite Mr. Teruyuki Ohno, Executive Director of REI, to deliver opening remarks. Thank you very much. We'd like to thank you very much for your participation at the RE Users Summit 2021. Because of the spread of COVID-19, the summit is being held online. It's a pity we cannot see you in person, but we have had 1,100 sign-ups, which is 2 times the number we had last year. We'd like to thank you very much. The day before yesterday, it was announced that the companies announcing RE100, declaring RE100 reached 50 within the domestic businesses. It just shows that renewable energy use is accelerating. It's wonderful. But in the press release, it was also mentioned that a lot of Japanese businesses have set 2050 for their target year for achieving 100%. So that's over 20 years later than foreign companies. And that's a problem. The backdrop to this is that it goes without saying that RE energy procurement is more difficult here in Japan compared to overseas. End of January, a report was released to the effect that in 2020 in the EU, amount of power generated through renewable energy will surpass thermal power generation power. It's only a preliminary figure, but the average for the 27 countries is 38.2%. Numbers have not been disclosed for Japan for last year, but it is expected to reach 20 to 21%. On the other hand, coal-fired power generation is about 2 times that of the EU, and it is expected to reach over 70%. As a result of this, businesses located in Japan may use the same amount of power as those located in Europe, but they will emit 2 times more CO2. Decarbonization efforts are being directly linked to the evaluation of companies. So Japanese businesses will at our disadvantage. Fossil fuel certificates and PPA will be discussed today, and we will be discussing in our panel discussion future challenges. RE energy introduction is delayed in Japan, but these methods to be used will be very important practically for many Japanese businesses. At the same time, it's important to change national policy to accelerate the RE energy use. On the 18th of January, Nikkei Morning Edition carried an advocacy advertisement by 90 companies, large companies, leading companies in Japan, that said that power objectives, targets for renewable energy should be 40% to 50% in 2030. And so this is a demonstration of their keen recognition that it's important to expand renewable energy for Japanese businesses to remain relevant. REI will be releasing a report next week to the effect that in 2020 it's possible to have renewable energy derived power to the tune of 45%, and even then to maintain a balance and the power costs that can be reduced. REI would be continuing to provide practical know-how with regard to use of RE energy, and we would like to continue with our research regarding policy changes and conversions. We hope that you could continue to focus on what we have to report. I'd like to conclude my opening remarks at this point. Thank you very much.
So before we start, the presentations, I'd like to briefly explain about the activities of the RE users. Now, RE users is providing an opportunity to share information for those companies wanting to introduce more renewable energy. We have three main types of activities. First, events. Apart from summit, we also hold online seminars, and we also hold seminars for the region. Next is information dissemination. We send email newsletter once a month, and we also post case studies of companies on our website. And the third is policy recommendations. Last year, we have had 20 companies come together and established a working group to study issues and came up with recommendations, which was announced at a summit. So this is a photo from the summit last year. We had 16 presenters from both within and outside Japan, and we had some 400 people participating at the venue. And the recommendation there, the 3 strategies and 9 initiatives that the company is engaged in climate change would like to see. And 3 recommendations. The first is by 2030, we will supply renewable energy at more than 44% of the electricity generated nationwide. So that was the first recommendation. And the 9 initiatives. So the Japanese version, connect and manage early realization, development of the environment value tracking system, and also lowering of the minimum bid price for the defeat non-fossil certificates. So we have worked on advancing a dialogue between the government and the corporate sector by establishing forums. These are the companies who had collaborated in coming up with the recommendation. And we also have asked for companies or organizations that endorse the recommendation, and we have 43 companies that ended up endorsing this. I'd like to take this opportunity to express our appreciation. So our users will continue to engage in this type of activities going forward, so I look forward to your continued support and assistance. Thank you. So next, I'd like to explain the program for today. We have 3 sessions, and we are intending for 3-hour day today with 3 sections ending at 4 p.m. In the first section, I would like to share examples from those companies who are quite advanced in the renewable energy utilization. And in the second session, we'd like to share you information about the latest situation regarding policy and market trend, and we'll have presentation from the government, the private sector company, as well as the public utility, and we'll have the panel discussion right at the end. So it'll be a long day today, but I hope that you'll stay until the end of the session today. So without further ado, I'd like to start with the presentations. The first, the user example is from Apple. And the presentation will be made by Ms. Vesema Ajabo. She will talk about carbon neutral engagements of the Apple Inc. And we have the time difference to the west coast of US, so we will play you a video. Thank you.